Good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever part of the day that you're watching to this. Welcome to our article. Here we are going to present the creation of the first artificial mouse embryo with just an stem cell. With just stem cells, it's amazing. Stem cells can develop mouse embryo and humans embryo are coming soon. The classmates that are going to help me with this presentation are Carlos Sli, Antonio Arenas, Perla Berenice, my name is Johan Gerardo, and Roberto Emiliano. We are going to start. Perla, here we go.
According to the research, this advance is going to help futurist experiments. They have reached a better comprehension about the early behaviors and development of embryos, and it will help doctors to explain why a lot of humans pregnancies does not perform correctly in those early phases. Once an ovum from a mammal has been fertilized thanks to spermatozoon, this divides into many parts to generate a small stem cells ball. The embryonic stem cells to get together within the embryo towards the sides. This stage of embryo development is now the blastocyst. The other cells found inside the blastocyst are the extraembryonic trophoblastic stem cells. These cells will form the placenta, and primitive endodermal stem cells will create a yolk sac, making scientists sure that fetus organs will develop correctly with the essential nutrients.
The previous attempts with embryonic structures using just embryonic stem cells that were made to evaluate their growth, those had been successful in limited attempts. Due to early embryo development need several types of cells that can coordinate each other. However, research had used modified stem cells in combination with extraembryonic trophoblastic stem cells. Thanks that research achieved a structure that works in a similar way as a natural embryo. Cernica goats and her care workers found an important communication rate between both kinds of stem cells. Also, Cernica goats assured that cells can communicate about their correct position within an embryo.
Scientific American is one of the largest science popularized in the world. This magazine is translated into more than 10 languages, including Spanish, Portuguese, and French. Its foundation dates to August 28, 1845, so its years of experience make the magazine with the longest uninterrupted years of publication in the entire history of the United States. Its founder was a great inventor with great ideas. Born in 1792, Rufus Porter began writing notes to the New York Mechanic. His creative and entrepreneurial mind led him to found Scientific American magazine, but in less than a year, Rufus sold it. The journal has become a source of truthful, reliable, and recognized information, also to the long history and high level of scientific articles published in it. Throughout its history, 150 novel lectures have published around 250 articles. About the authors of the article, we create the first artificial mouse embryo with stem cells. Sync Agency is a team made up of journalists specialized in the science, technology, and innovation, who produce materials such as news, interviews, videos, and digital content. The Sync Agency has been awarded various recognitions in the scientific journalistic field that give the portal great credibility, in addition to being endorsed by its achievements.
Cernica Getz and her coworkers found an important communication rate between both kinds of stem cells. Also, Cernica gets their correct position with a different embryo. We knew that interactions between different kinds of stem cells were important for the development, without feeling amazed at the time we saw that stem cells are what I feel not only able to communicate, but they can also follow each other. Without this association, the development and biological key activity will not have worked in the correct way, that she says Cernica got to conclude. Comparing the results of the artificial embryo with a natural embryo, researchers could show them that the same phases were followed even if the artificial embryo looks like the real one followed. Even if this artificial embryo looks like the real one, it is still exists a small possibility that the artificial can be developed in a healthy fetus. Researchers concluded. Serica Get has developed a way that allows blind cysts to grow into the further implementation stage. It also led scientists to analyze for the first time in history the decay phases in a human embryo development until 13 days after fertilization.
With this article, we can conclude that, based on researchers' opinion, these advances could have to achieve accurate study about the early phases of the embryo development. These phases, due to a lack of human embryo, the investigation have not been developed yet. Nowadays, the investigation development is just starting, thanks to donated ovums that come from fertility clinics. But these advances does not mean something yet. It's just, as I told you, the beginning of a new complete study. The new investigations or discoveries that researchers make or discover does not get into a law or a method yet immediately. These methods or develop or discoveries has to be proved or based on something that of studies, previous studies that are done about the same topic. I mean, a new study is not a law immediately. It has to be proved. So this article is just the beginning for these stem cells. Stem cells are in charge to develop new life. So with this investigation, will help future researchers to get an answer about why the human pregnancies are not successful in some cases. The pregnancy sometimes get with troubles or get not successful because an alteration or anything that could happen with stem cells. So the investigation from these stem cells that is made in this article will help the future researchers to get an answer about why pregnancies are not successful.